Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It's Thursdays 13. I've got 6 things. Roger's got 7 things. Together with Matt, that makes 13 things on a list today. He's gonna do stories that he missed. Maybe this week, maybe 5 months ago, but we just didn't cover them on the show. And I have 6 things that remind us what happened this year in European news specifically. They're related to each other, so I'm sure we'll have some splashback and interesting stories for you there, as well as general news that's happening today, just happened yesterday, or is happening right now. We've got that news as well. This is the first and only international game show, Before Coffee, a father-daughter news podcast in which we look up our stories right before we've started. We've just got caffeine in our bodies and we are learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's roll that segue wheel, but first get into today's headlines. I'm always learning to speak. Today on Thursdays 13. Schools told to keep children inside as polluted fog envelops Bosnian capital. See, I still can't speak.
On serious news, U.S. government admits the military and air traffic control failed in terrible crash this year.
Complete cronyism. Tractors roll into Brussels as farmers press EU leaders on budget and Mercosur.
And on Thursdays 13, you got probably a preview of it, but I'm going to talk about some news stories that are all Epstein-related in some way. I'll make a link, don't worry.
In my culture news, electronic music is added to the French Intangible Cultural Heritage List. And I'm going to talk about 10 tracks that you need to listen to if you love that French electronica.
And it's National Regifting Day. Dear Santa, thank you for the butt plug. Wait. Thursday, before Christmas, every year is National Regifting Day on Thursday. What is it today? December 18th, 2025 on Before Coffee. I forgot what month it was. Santa and butt plug in the same sentence before.
No, I don't think I have. It doesn't sound familiar.
Proud of that. Santa's a regifter, ho ho ho.
Just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Let's roll our first segue for what is usually our longest show is Thursdays 13 because we love our lists here. And we can talk about what we put on lists for days on end.
I need some brown dye in my beard, so I poured some coffee.
Our first segue is mixed metaphor, and we're going to be talking about pollution in Bosnia. Air pollution, still happening, sadly. Oh, I just punched my mic with my elbow. Ow. This is from Eldar Emmerich on AP News. Coming out of Sarajevo, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Flights were canceled, children were told to stay indoors, and outdoors construction work was banned in Sarajevo yesterday on the 17th of December. Today on the 18th of December, as a thick layer of fog enveloped the Bosnian capital. Sarajevo traditionally faces severe pollution during winter, mostly from house heating and transportation pollution. The city is located in a valley surrounded by mountains, which can keep polluted air stuck for days at a time if there is no wind. Several flights from Sarajevo airport were canceled, and cars moved slowly in the low visibility during the morning rush hour. Some residents of Sarajevo could be seen wearing face masks for protection from toxic air. The Swiss air quality technology company IQ Air on today, the Thursday, the 18th, ranked air quality in Sarajevo as unhealthy. The city often tops the list of places with poor air quality globally, so I'm not moving to Bosnia anytime soon. Authorities on the 17th of December banned trucks of over 3.5 tons in Sarajevo city center, along with cars and trucks that do not meet European Union environmental standards. Any construction work outside has been banned, as well as public gatherings. Experts have warned that exposure to PM 2.5, fine inhalable particles with a diameter of 2.5 micrometers or smaller, has led to a rise in respiratory infections as well as cancer, cardiovascular disease, and premature deaths in Sarajevo, other major cities in Bosnia, and elsewhere in the Western Balkans. Delicious mystery atoms inside of your lung and bloodstream. I'm sure that won't do anything bad. Probably metals, probably coal, the bad stuff you don't want in your lungs. Enis Kresnik, an expert for air pollution from the State Meteorological Institute, said the levels of toxic particles in Sarajevo are sometimes 10 times higher than they should be. He noted that's unlikely that the situation will change anytime soon. We need a systematic solution, he said, adding that some 40,000 households need time to switch to alternative heating systems which are environmentally friendly. Many Balkan countries have a poor record in environment protection despite promises to improve the situation as they seek to move closer to EU membership. Balkan rivers are often clogged with garbage, and recycling is almost non-existent, while many cities have seen rampant construction diminishing green areas. The air in Belgrade, the capital of neighboring Serbia, also was deemed unhealthy for sensitive groups as of today on the 18th of December. So Tito really did a good job with Yugoslavia there, I guess. Pollution paradise.
You go. That's an old car made by Yugoslavia. Sorry. My mixed metaphor. Pea soup fog isn't exactly my cup of tea. Or pea soup smog, sorry. Let me say that again. Pea soup smog is exactly my cup of tea. Or my cup of pea soup, for that matter.
Yeah, I think it's the visibility is like a pea soup.
Or if you're Bob Dylan, is it my cup of meat?
This is my cup of meat.
You don't know the song, The Mighty Quinn, right? The Mighty Quinn, you might have heard it. Come on within. You'll not see nothing like the Mighty Quinn. He has a line in there, my cup of meat. It had to rhyme it with something else, right? He said meat, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I'm going to sneeze.
Hey, it's just one of my favorite Bob Dylan lines. I don't think he ever sang that song, and he never recorded that in the studio, just in the basement tapes.
One of those demos for his special fans. Only they have heard.
When he had his motorcycle accident, he just hunkered down in Woodstock, New York, with the band, the guys from the band, and they just recorded songs that they could sell to other people. And Manfred Mann recorded it and had a ¡1 hit with it. So there you go. The Mighty Quinn. Quinn the Eskimo, which is not politically incorrect, but Quinn the Eskimo was a drug dealer anyway. So, it's a metaphor. You read the lyrics, right? Read the lyrics. When Quinn the Eskimo gets here, everybody's going to jump for joy. Oh, yeah, why? He's got the good stuff. That's why.
And that's our first shot of the day, talking about Bob Dylan.
That's worth half a bottle right there.
Bingo! I've got a bingo! Let's go into your only story, I guess, today. With our first segue. A second segue.
Yeah, I'm going to do a one
My
story
first segue, you're the second
Right on,
segue.
let's do it.
I'm going to tell a joke.
I still love that lyrics, man. Bob Dylan writes the dumbest lyrics that make a lot of sense somehow, right? I'm just saying. Sometimes you just don't think about it. You can see what was intended. Okay, let's do a story about death, unfortunately, because we had a mid-air collision up here in D.C. a few months back. This is from WTOP.com. So actually, it's from CNN story reporting. The U.S. government now admits failures by the pilots of an Army Black Hawk helicopter and a controller in the Reagan National Airport tower during the January 29th mid-air collision over the Potomac River that killed 67 people which I really take personally because I think I've had probably 5 near misses at that awful airport, and it didn't involve other airplanes, as far as I know. Right? And they don't tell you before the crash happens, by the way. It's just a complete surprise. The new admission is part of the court documents filed by the Department of Justice in the United States District Court in Washington, D.C. Wednesday. The civil lawsuit brought earlier this year by the family of a passenger killed on American Eagle Flight 5342. The United States admit that it owed a duty to care for the plaintiffs, which it breached, the new filing says, setting up the ability for the families to seek damages. A total of 67 people were killed in the middle of a collision when Army crew told controllers in the airport control tower that they would maintain visual separation from Flight 5342, which is about to land National Airport, United States. Pilots flying the PAT-25 failed to maintain proper and safe visual separation of the AE 5342, the court filing says. The U.S. government also admits in the suit that the air traffic controller tower did not comply with the FAA order governing air traffic control procedure. We're just going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say the FAA was suffering from a whole lot of people getting laid off and everybody worried about their own job, causing undue stress. I'm not excusing their lax behavior. It's just the thing that happens when you put people under stress. So there's your story. Hopefully there's...
That was quite
There's
short,
nothing really good about this. Yeah.
Big update.
Yeah.
It's a big update because,
you can sue the federal government.
Was the government. We already knew it was the government, but now we really know it was the government.
Even AI knows you can sue the federal government, and people online don't, right? They're always saying, you can't sue the government. What the fuck are you talking about, man? They can sue the government all you want, man. That's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah,
that's one of them cats you ain't letting out of the bag. Yeah.
Not above the law. I don't know where people got this idea.
The airlines themselves, again, are going to quietly settle too, right? There's going to be, nothing replaces, I don't want to get into the tragedy of it, but you ain't replacing people with money, no matter how much you try.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
My jokes are, what do you call a plane that cannot take off?
One that Trump is flying? I don't know.
Aeroplane.
Oh.
If you ever get nervous about making an airplane joke, wing it. It might actually land.
Oh, stop it, girl. These are supposed to be... Okay. Wrong story to have jokes about. We can joke about all the rest of them, I think.
Who invented the first airplanes that couldn't fly? The Wrong brothers.
Know. Oh, no.
Alright, that's enough plane jokes.
Stop.
Hey, this is just to lighten the mood, man. We're not making fun of the tragedy. We're just making fun of planes.
Don't make me break up my Helen Keller jokes, alright? You want to be faceless.
Alright, let's roll our next segue for my story.
I got one story. I'll load up on them later.
Time for you to tell a joke. Now you have to tell some jokes.
It better not be tragic. Is it tragic? Because I can respin.
No, it's not tragic. It's just about farmers. My favorite thing to yell about is European farmers complaining about things, and then you find out they're being paid by big plants, big agriculture to protest something that is actually good for the rest of the world. This is from Eurosativ. It's not by anybody, it's just by Eurosativ. Farmers from across Europe descended on Brussels today on the 18th of December to protest the Commission's proposed budget reform, denouncing subsidy cuts and proposed single fund they say threatens the Common Agricultural Policy, or CAP. Von der Leyen's plan starves Europe, read some banners. Little did you know that a lot of the plants that we grow in Europe are exported to somewhere else. Money! Not all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Very large majority of it is just exported to the US, to China, to Africa. We have a lot of food here in Europe. We're not running out of it anytime soon. Tractors rolled into the city in the early hours of the morning, and farmers gathered for a march to the European quarter. as EU leaders met at the council. EU farming lobby COPA and COGICA, spearheading the protest, pointed to 10,000 protesters from the 27 EU countries. Depending on where you stood in Brussels, the EU's nerve center, the scene looked very different. In northern Brussels, where farmers kicked off the march, the gathering was largely peaceful. Tractors honked and a few flares were lit, and Italian farmers even tossed many packets of Parmigiano cheese into the air. Meanwhile, by the way, that's a huge export to the rest of the world, not to Europe, and I don't think if we lost cheese, we would starve to death. Sorry, I just think I'm not against farmers. I'm not against farmers. I know it sounds like I am. What I'm against is farmers sitting on a high horse of being like, you would all die without us. Which is probably true, except for the fact that a majority of the farmers are making, like our almond farmers, right? Almond farmers are not providing food for the entirety of everyone. They're selling it to almond milk companies, to other almond. They're processing it and selling that, and that's not feeding people in the same way, a Brussels sprouts farmer would. Brussels sprouts, more useful as a stock food than almonds, for example.
Plus, they're easier to grow and they'll go farther.
And also, they're not selling you the almonds, right? They're exporting it to somebody somewhere, and then they're making all the money.
They call them in Belgium sprouts. That's not my joke, by the way.
Yeah.
That's not my joke.
I know it's impossible to know what every single thing these farmers are farming and selling, but I have a feeling that a lot of them are selling things that are cash crops instead of actual food crops. But meanwhile, in front of the EU Parliament, a far more violent scene had unfolded, with young protesters throwing objects, including potatoes, at police, who responded with tear gas and water cannons. A bit of it was potato. It's like that guy in our comments who was like, how would you feel if somebody threw a sandwich at you? I would feel embarrassed, but I wouldn't take them to court for it. Oh my god, that person got, mayonnaise and there's a pickle in my hair and there's cheese everywhere, I would feel embarrassed. Oh, I'm full of sandwich now. But somebody threw I know potatoes can be pretty hard. Potatoes are, there's a reason they have potato cannons, but still. A bruise in the face from potato is not the same as getting shot by a gun, or in this case, gassed by your government. On the sidelines of the EU summit, representatives of COPA and COGICA met Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, European Council President Antonio Costa, and Agricultural Commissioner Christoph Hansen. Short of making any new announcements, von der Leyen promised farmers strong, sustained support in the EU budget in a social media post after the meeting. COGICA President Lennart Nilsson confirmed to Eurocitiv that the talks didn't lead to any breakthrough, but said he made farmers' voices heard. We delivered a strong message, he said, citing a call for ambitious CAP fair trade deals and further simplification of farming rules. While his delegation did not receive any immediate response from the Commission on such demands, he said that this was not the purpose of the meeting and that exchanges would continue. Later on today, a large group of farmer representatives was set to meet Hansen, along with fellow commissioners Peter Serafin, in charge of the budget, and Maros Sivkovic, responsible for trade, and Jessica Roswell, overseeing the environment. Von der Leyen already made a nod to farmers last month, earmarking additional funds for rural spending and shifting some single fund provisions back into CAP. Still, farmer unions slammed the move as smoke and mirrors. I'm not making the same amount of money as I was making 5 years ago. It's called the recession, dude. And also, COVID happened. Stop acting like we can return to an economy that was all in Ukraine. All this stuff happened.
Also,
and it affects your economy, dude.
Stop living in the past. Stop living in the past. You can't recreate it. It ain't gonna happen again. Get over it. Sorry.
So, hopefully they can find some sort of consensus here, because I don't know. It sounds like they're just complaining about something that it's not the EU's fault. Sure, they're maybe directly taking money out of something and out of subsidies, but Maybe you don't deserve those subsidies anymore because you're making mad cash. Wait, why are we subsidizing people who are making millions?
Because they have to have their price supports or they go out of business. I know this as a farmer. Dairy farmers could not survive if the price of milk went down to 5 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
Right? Why should I stay in business? It's fucking pointless. Right? Default and sell everything. Get the hell out of there.
Sadly, that is what you have to do, right? When you make a business and it fails because I chose the wrong product to sell, time to switch business.
Believe me, I'm not against
products.
I'm not against price supports. Yeah. Because I'm not an anti-socialist, I am not against price supports. I definitely agree they should exist, and I definitely agree that frickin' businesses should have like a maximum profit, right? If you are gonna, they should have they should have a minimum profit before they even pay the board of directors. Right? Yeah. They shouldn't even be losing money without not reselling their stock either to make it look good. That's not a profit.
Yeah, like that doesn't count.
I'm interrupting your story for...
No, the story's over. You can give me a joke. Another one.
My story. I have a farmer joke.
Okay.
Or story. Let's call it a story. So me and my brother, north of Antigo, spoke with potato farms. And north of Antigo is real flat. Antigo, Wisconsin, where I grew up. And one day, me and my brother, I'm driving down the road, and we're in the car, and we're driving. It's a nice place with nice, flat, straight roads. And, it's just farmland on either side. And you can go pretty fast. You can see everywhere in every direction. There's no trees. So I'm just getting up there to, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And I look, and running down the road beside me is this, looked like a chicken. And then, boom, it looked over at me and just, boom, took off. I'm like, whoa. I look at my brother, you see that? He's like, what was that? I think it was a chicken. So I speed up, 65, 70, 75. I finally caught up to that chicken, 75, pushing 80. Chicken makes a left turn, boom, just stops on the dime. Left turn on this dirt road, long dirt road. So I turn around. I got to find out where this chicken's going. So I get back on this dirt road. This dirt road ends at a farm. So I was this farmer standing out in his yard, smoking one of those corn cob pipes.
Yeah.
Just standing there. Just your typical straw hat. We pull in the yard. I didn't get out of the car. It's like, hey, sir. He's like, yeah. He goes, I was just driving down the road. I saw a chicken, and it looked to me like it had 3 legs. He goes, really? He goes, yeah, it's one of my chickens. He goes, really? A chicken with 3 legs? He goes, yeah. Well, yeah, I started breeding those a few years ago as I was eating dinner. And I said, boy, I do like the chickens I raise, but I think I can increase my profits about 50% if I grow 3-legged chickens instead of 2-legged chickens. And I said, really? How does it taste? And he said, I don't know. We haven't caught one yet. There's the joke.
And that is exactly how farmers think. Oh, I could make a lot of money off of this in 2 years.
It had profits and had potatoes in it. I'll just mind the thing.
Yet again, right? I'm not hating on any farmers. I even like watching farmers on YouTube, like their diaries, right? Weekly diary. This will happen on the farm today. And I know it costs a lot of money to run a farm. It's not just something you pick up and wake up in bed and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna raise some sheep in a field for a year. You have to spend money to become a farmer. So that's why these subsidies exist. Right? So that people can afford to become farmers, because farmers are still important for society. I mean, literally,
unfortunately,
historically, fundamentally, society would not exist without farmers. We'd be still running around chasing elk in fields and shit. So,
yeah, unfortunately, we subsidize corporate farms with free water.
Yeah, that's the issue here. Yeah,
they just basically evaporate into the sky because they're raising.
Yeah, my problem with farmers is when they get bought out by huge corporations who tell them they need to go protest in Brussels for a plan that's probably going to improve everyone's life. Not just the farmer's life, everyone. And, hey, we're losing our bottom line. You need to go tell them to stop, because they're going to listen to you, because you're the farmers. Anyways, I'm going to go on my second yacht.
We're in the middle of... Yeah, we're bailing out the farmers in this country as we speak, because they're bad business decisions, right?
Yeah.
I know China won't retaliate against our tariffs this time. Oh, yeah, sure they won't.
What if you say, Grandpa, let's roll our segue for our Thursday's 13, which I guess we're going to go back and forth between each other's different things on the list.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, I think. Yeah.
As long as I don't get
Okay,
anything like write a limerick, because I can't write a limerick while going back and forth. I got mixed metaphor.
Yeah.
We'll be able to do that easily.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So
give me your
first
thing.
My first story. This is recent and it's kind of cool. Is Congress votes to approve discharge petition for the ACA subsidies as Grinder Mike Johnson loses control of his caucus again because 4 Republicans turned on him. Obamacare Repeal Act, their effort to House leaders proposed a health care package but left out subsidy extensions, and 4 Republicans decided they want to force a vote. 4 Republicans broke with Speaker Mike Johnson. Let's get their names here. The tenth week Capitol Hill revealed that the rift in the GOP, the debate about was the Affordable Care Act and subsidies that help millions. The drama shows how healthcare reform affects American politics. Swing district Republicans faced rising premiums at home, while party leaders weighed broader market ideas against near-term costs for families. Let's give them their names. Let's go. Brian Fitzpatrick, Robert Bresnahan, Ryan McKenzie, and Mike Lawler probably went home. Fitzpatrick is in New York, I believe. And I'm pretty sure Lawler is also. These other 2 are in Pennsylvania. In swing districts, which means they really don't care about Trump's support so much. They just want to make their district happy. So that's what happened. The story I will give credit to on this end is, this is networkworldnews.com, D. Boyer of Politics and Government section. So there's your story. Now it's back to you.
Okay,
unless you have a comment on that.
Event, I guess. No, I have no comment. I thought we weren't reading stories, but I guess we are reading stories.
Well, I had to give you background. I'm just reading the parts that
I do have some. Yeah, I do have some background for this story.
If you want me to read that story, I can't.
My stories are more about what happened this year in Europe that we may have forgotten about because it's been a long year. As it seems like ever since 2016, it's been a long year. My first one here is the EU anti-Semitism czar who lobbied against the Israel sanctions. This was an exclusive from Retman in July on the strange actions of the EU supposed coordinator on combating anti-Semitism, Germany's Katharina von Schrubein, who was lobbying behind the scenes against economic sanctions on Israel, rather than for the safety and rights of Jews living in Europe. So that's her job. Her job is to say, hey, let's make sure we don't do anti-Semitism. But in the background, she was like, please don't put economic sanctions on Israel. It's like, that's not your job. Your job is not to be a lobby for Israel's economy. That's not your job. Your job is to make sure nobody's being anti-Semitic. For Schrubein, the Berlaymont staff at the EU Commission holding cake sales for Gaza was ambient anti-Semitism. And both the UN and the international media were ignoring stories about Israel getting food into the Gaza Strip. Incredibly, Schrubein is still in her job, even though she wasn't doing it. So there's your story on anti-Semitism. Is not as important as making sure Israel doesn't get any economic sanctions.
I will say this about that story. One of the most anti-Semitic, I guess you want to call it, tropes or memes or whatever the hell it is to assume that Jewish people support Israel, and if they don't, they're like, oh, you're against... Dude, what? I'm a citizen of this country, not Israel. You get it? Hello. I mean, just like, why would you assume that? Trump does. That's why I say that. It's just one of those things.
It's like, really weird how anti-Semitism has been conflated with respecting Israel. Like, if you don't respect the country and its government, you're now an anti-Semite. Is a crazy line that we've drawn now.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah. It's really hard to get by somebody that just doesn't see facts and they just want to throw labels at you. Okay, I got it. You got a label maker. I labeled you. That's all I care about. On to the next thing I can bitch about and never solve.
Okay.
My next story will be Epstein-related, of course, because we're going to talk about Jack Smith. Remember Jack Smith, if that is his real name? Special prosecutor appointed by Merrick the Meek Garland, who was the last attorney general, who basically said, let's slow walk this Trump thing for 4 years and see what happens. Oh, that worked out great, didn't it? Anyway, Jack Smith was a special prosecutor prosecuting 2 Trump cases. He got indictments. That means he was charged. He could have marched down and arrested Trump at any time, right? We remember all this stuff. This is part of history. He got indictments. Trump had 4 indictments. He was only convicted in 1 court because they had time for the rest of the trials because a bunch of morons put him in office. But right now, Jack Smith yesterday testified before a committee under closed doors about both of those cases. He was commissioned to and spent taxpayers' dollar, time, and money going and investigated. Now he's been subpoenaed by Jim Jordan, of all people. Isn't that weird, right?
Amazing.
Jack it off, Jim Jordan. Smith recounted that he was taught as a young prosecutor to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor and to do the right thing, the right way, for right reasons and principles. He said guided his career. Asked if whether to prosecute former president based on the same facts today, I would do so regardless of whether president or Republican or Democrat. Representative Dan Gold demanded that Jordan, who is the chairman of this committee, hold a public hearing so the American people can hear what the special counsel said. The same thing they did with, there was a special counsel during the first Trump administration. Remember the Mueller report? Remember him? Mm-hmm. And he testified before Congress, and that was a Republican Congress. Why don't they want to hear from Jack Smith? He spent a lot of money. They had a special prosecutor in the Biden case, right? And they had testimony from him. I didn't find shit wrong. Oh yeah, Hunter Biden unregistered handgun. Ooh, not that. NRA didn't even stand up for him at all. Anyway, there's your quick story on Mr. Jack Smith. There's a lot to say, but the Republicans don't want you to hear it. Interesting.
Yeah, don't forget, there's so many different things that have gone just completely corruption scandals or whatever. I don't even know what to call them. That there's so many, you forget about them.
This is why.
They just keep piling and piling up, and you're like, oh, another one? Wow, another one?
I'm pulling them up the scrap heap. In case people missed this, Jack Smith has a lot to say. 2 investigations.
If it walks like a despot, it looks like a despot, it's probably a despot.
1 election interference and 1 is stealing secure documents. And of course, the MAGA idiots are like, Joe Biden had secure documents. Oh, yeah. Joe Biden had secure documents in his pool house where anybody had access to it? I don't think so. Sorry.
Also, good morning, Josh, and thank you for checking in to Before Coffee and getting your daily elixir. My second event that happened in Europe that we may have forgotten about was the turbocharging of the EU defense. I think this is probably the biggest news this year. Everyone, perhaps the biggest and most underplayed, because it's maybe a little underplayed, because a lot of, especially if you're American, you're used to having like trillion military budget. But for Europe, it's a really big deal that we're starting to rearm again over here, because this is where all the world wars started, over here in Europe. So it's always scary, I think. So that's why people are underplaying it, because they don't want anyone to be panicking. Oh no, it's the end. Another world war is coming. Yeah. This is the EU story of 2025, and it was the enormous increase in EU defense spending, because its cost and equipment will shape the next couple of decades, long after the Ukraine war is hopefully over, and the money is coming, or already has been diverted, from social spending and foreign aid. In this in-depth dive and visual explainer by data analysis Sergei Pijuan and editor-in-chief Elena Sanchez-Nicolas, had a full breakdown of who, what, where, when, why, and it's mostly Poland, France, and some of Germany.
Oh.
And this was from March. March was like the first time we were like, oh, all the governments are starting to add some money to the military budget. Of course, France is trying to increase their military budget to, or I think their people. They're right. I think we did a story about this last month, and it was something like currently they have 80,000, and they want to get to like 180,000 reserves and troops, active troops. So Europe has a lot of work to do, and hopefully Russia doesn't invade before then.
Yeah, reserve's easy. You don't do anything. yeah, man. I forgot what I was going to say about that.
No, I mean, you don't have to say anything. Your next one.
I'll think of it in a minute, all right? It was something that escaped my mind. My story is about a death that probably didn't catch a lot of people's attention because he's kind of a cult figure. Joe Eli, country singer and what I would call a connection to punk music. He died past week. This story is from Jeff McCord of somethingcut.org. We'll do parts of it. His beginnings are unassuming. A couple of years younger than his Lubbock songwriting pals Jimmy Dale Gilmore and Butch Hannock, he soared up the dust of their empty landscapes and studied his friends' every move. Their unsuccessful 72 recording with Gilmore and lead vocals didn't have a single Eli songwriting credit. Austin songwriter Jerry Jeff Walker, who wrote, among other things, Mr. Bojangles, if you ever heard that song, would help Eli, now an Austinite, deal with the MCA records. His long recording career is marked by eclecticism, especially once he began recording independently. His 1984 synthesizer album baffled MCA, more than a few fans. Country with a Synthesizer, in 1984. Think about that. Unconcerned, Eli always followed his own muse and was unafraid of the occasional misfire. I will say that let's do some more things about him. Because early on, Eli discovered a gift for something other than songwriting, performing, riveting and charismatic as road-tested bands, first with Jesse Taylor, Lloyd Maines, and Ponty Bone, what a name. And later edition of David Grissom, Jim Polite, and Davis McClarty brought along euphoria wherever they went. One sweaty night after another's hometown base of Liberty Lunch, looking for the verge of collapse, but grinning ear to ear, Eli, I think it's Eli, would push his band even further into the night. Boxcars, fingernails, cool rock, and Loretta. There was an unquestionable right place, right time feel to these shows. What it must have been like to see Elvis or Buddy Holly or Little Richard in their heyday. And when The Clash and Bruce Springsteen came to town, they would haul Ely on stage. It was a validation that made perfect sense. They knew what everyone in Austin knew, and never forget, Joe Ely was undeniable. So hats off to him for being different in country music, which is just, I got my girl looks good in them blue jeans. That's right, she does.
That's right. Music, I mean, punk is a movement, it's not a music. So you can't tell people something isn't punk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, punk is doing what people don't expect. That's why I won't do another BD reference.
Against the grain.
Yeah, right.
Another thing that's against the grain is my big event. I clicked the wrong button. My big event of
that was
Europe.
Your metaphor.
Another big one, what is this, my third one? NGOs dying. Europe's playbook for dismantling democracy. As per the left-wing criticism mentioned, and, from far right, there are some extent a voice for NGOs across Europe. In turn, they are attacked by far right as taxpayer-funded busybodies suffocating businesses in red tape and health and safety. Wait, we care about what other people are doing? Aren't we just supposed to pass laws and say, you better listen to these laws or you're going to pay? Wait a minute, that's fascism. That's exactly what fascism. Maybe we don't want authoritarian fascism? Just an idea, Europe. In fact, corporations and governments cannot be trusted to monitor and police themselves on climate targets, an independent judiciary and media, and a plethora of other issues. The general public is too busy working to pay the bills or do the job, so that's what NGOs are for. They step in to be a third party to say, hey, you're not doing that thing you're supposed to be doing, government. Hey, that corporation is polluting the river and you're just letting them. So NGOs are very important to not just Europe, but everywhere in the world, because they keep everyone accounted for, it keeps things transparent, and it puts the pressure on things that need to change for the better of society. So, if you let NGOs die, you will be dismantling democracy, and that's what you don't want to do. That's what we're trying not to do here in Europe, okay?
They're also known as lobbyists in this country, so I can say you don't like lobbyists, but they are People that keep their government honest, at least. Some of them are just there to bribe. My number 4 story, if you're done, is
Yep.
I'll read my headline. Trump's chief of staff says Diaper Donnie has an alcoholic personality. His ketamine dealer denies this.
His ketamine dealer.
By the way, she also noted that Elon Musk is a ketamine addict. That's why we call him Ketamine Karen around here. So, yeah, that's my story. She gave an interview.
That reminds me that supposedly Vanity Fair, I think it was Vanity Fair,
you can read it.
Went to the White House to take pictures of people in the White House, and people are seeing it as like a huge troll move. Like they took pictures to make every single politician look very sad and small and dead inside, because they're all cronies. Everyone in the White House is a crony for Trump.
Yeah, you sold your soul. You want to see what somebody looks like when their soul has left their body? Just look around and people.
Look at that Vanity Fair White House spread. Yeah, the photographer did a really great job of showing the truth, so to say. In my next story,
get a chance to look at Lindsey Graham when the cameras are off? Yeah, that's the guy.
No light in eyes.
Nothing.
No light.
Stands for nothing anymore. Nothing at all. Just servitude, Pathetic.
My next story for the EU stories that happened this year is, of course, using Russia's sovereign assets in order to help pay for Ukraine's defense and other things to make sure Ukraine doesn't fall to Russian frickin' conquering. But did it actually work? Did von der Leyen's clever workaround actually work? A mark of good comment piece is when it changes her mind on an issue, which happens very rarely. Sometimes you read something, you're like, you know what, they are right. In their Madrid-based economics columnist on EU Observer, which is where I'm reading these stories from, by the way, Judith Arnold wrote in September, when the question of Russian frozen assets were first starting to come to boil. And while Russian central bank assets is the right thing to do, morally and legally, the situation is much more nuanced and difficult. Seizing sovereign assets whilst going to a good cause in Ukraine is at least technically illegal, and the threat of contagion from other states withdrawing their sovereign assets from anywhere and everywhere inside the Eurozone is so potentially disastrous it could lead to a run on the euro. So it sounds like a great idea, and then you realize you're stealing people's money. And then people are like, I'm not going to keep my money in a bank account in the EU anymore, because they might decide to freeze my assets and spend all that money on something else. So that's all they're saying here, right? It's a great workaround. Von der Leyen was very clever in being able to do something with these frozen assets, because they're sanctioning, right? But they're sanctioning Russia, and you're not allowed to use any money to do anything, because fuck you started a war.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because of that, other countries are worried that will happen to them, and then they start pulling their money out of the EU economy.
Yeah, once we take the profit out of war, it might shut the thing down, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if that works, it works, I guess.
That's my little tangent. My number 5 story headline reads: Dirtbag tries to start a war with Venezuela, declares a blockade that really isn't a blockade, but whatever, you can just dream that it is, because Venezuela, if they really wanted to, will just ship their oil where they want to, and if Trump wants to start a war, that's probably not what will make very popular. But Venezuela, again, is being infiltrated, so they're not too worried about it. This was according to a speech. This is according to his speech last night, rambling, 15 minutes of nonsense, angry nonsense from the diapered one, which I enjoyed the first time in its original German. Thank you very much.
If you want if you want to watch somebody ramble on 50 minutes, watch the show. I don't know why you're watching that.
Yeah. Oh, at least I tell you the truth. This guy just is delusional. Well, the economy's doing great. Where? Oh, the stock market. Oh, that thing. Ah, gotcha. Right on. The stock market. For all the people that own AI stock, yay, it's going to be worthless in about a month. Just telling you. Stock isn't money. It isn't. It's just pretend. It's pretend until you sell it and then you get some money. You probably want to sell it now. Buy silver. That's my silver reference. Is there a bingo card for that?
Yeah, that's a bingo. Another bingo on the board.
$68 the last time I checked. That's pretty high.
And that's your story?
That's the story. That's it, man. I don't go through
that
those,
reminds
like I
me
said,
of something, another thing. I know I'm just getting reminded of a thing, but I saw on social media last night that currently microchip prices have skyrocketed, which means that RAM, so if you want to upgrade your RAM, is really expensive if you want to upgrade your RAM in your computer. And the reason that is because that RAM is already being pre-bought by graphics card companies for cards they haven't made so that they can put them in data centers that aren't built yet for AI. So we're currently in everything's raising in prices to pay for AI that will not make money, will not give you profits, and will do absolutely nothing for society. And people are already investing in it so hard that we're raising the prices of everything. So AI is already destroying the world and it hasn't even been invented yet. It's not even doing anything yet.
Yeah, we know this. The data centers that are going in everywhere. They're just
but they're not even built yet, right? You're already investing in these data centers that aren't even built yet. They're not even, they don't even exist.
Yeah, I'm here. A town that just closed down their factory is gonna get AI center, so they're all happy with those 300 jobs being replaced by 12 and a janitorial staff. Nice job, everybody. You voted for your own unemployment.
Woohoo!
You can defeat AI. You can defeat data centers in your town. People are doing it all over the United States. Just so you know.
100%. My next story, my fifth story from European news that happened this year is, if you read only one piece on the second Ursula von der Leyen EU presidency, it should be on nearly rolling back all of her first presidency decisions. Make it this one. It's the EU's omnibus green rollback, likely to hit legal challenge, experts are warning. Climate correspondent Wester von Gaal on the Euro Observer interviewed David Freidingler, co-author of the legal analysis of the omnibus simplification package, and concluded that the Commission hasn't done its legal homework. They've completely failed on. They were like, let's go green, and then second presidency, let's go gray. Let's re-roll all of those green energy pro-planet things we were talking about in the first presidency, and take all that money and put it into something else, I guess. I don't know. Your next one?
Well, that's the story. I was trying to come up with a segue for that. But yeah, remember the days when we thought our government would solve our problems, and now we just think, oh boy, what are they fucking doing next? Number 6 story, CBS airs a town hall with widow. Only immediate family tuned in. Yeah, I don't know if you know who Erica Kirk is. If you don't, well, consider yourself lucky, I guess. I mean, we're going to call her a griefer because I've never seen... Yoko Ono didn't go out and make public appearances after John Lennon was shot for a long time.
Yeah, it's very Victorian.
This woman... I'm just trying to think of an example of a widow just being on TV constantly, just trying to, I don't know, cash in, let's put it. I don't know. But we're going to do a story, a little blurb from Vanity Fair because I enjoy, I'm sorry, Variety, not Vanity Fair. You said Vanity Fair earlier. Starts with a V, got in my brain. From Variety.com, Brian Steinberg probably should be a professional writer. Wait, he is a professional writer because he wrote this. This was a special CBS, which has been taken over by the fascists, by the way. Their new fascist leader is somebody named Barry Weiss, which is a woman, B-A-R-I. Barry Weiss, recently named editor of CBS News, handpicked basically by Trump. So if you were looking for news from CBS, you're not going to get it. You're going to get propaganda. So one of the first things she decided to do is start airing news specials on Saturday at 8 p.m. And her very first news special aired at 8 p.m. on Saturday, one of the least watch hours in broadcast TV. And that may have contributed to a relative dearth of top advertisers appearing to support the show. A dearth means nobody. During the hour, commercial breaks were largely filled with spots from direct response advertisers. It's kind of you see on cable. This is broadcast television, by the way.
Yeah.
Real expensive advertising, typically. Think Super Bowl, right? Not quite that, but yeah. Anyway, the Carfax, the Homeserve.com, and of course, everybody's favorite commercial that usually runs for an hour and a half, the Chia Pet, the terracotta figure.
Of course, everyone loves a Chia Pet.
Direct response advertisers, direct response advertisers typically pay lower prices in exchange for allowing TV networks to put their commercials on air when convenience allows. Right? They pay low rates. Get it? Low rates. CBS lost money. Of course, they probably didn't pay her for the appearance. She's drifting on her own. A flurry of the ads appearing in one program usually offers a signal that the network could not line up more mainstream support. Oh, well, that just happens sometimes on TV. But unfortunately for this show, the next show on TV was at 9, and it was a rerun of 48 Hours, and the commercials were... Well, let's see the sponsors for that show. Amazon, Ferrero Group, and Procter & Gamble. Big-time advertisers. One direct response marketer, Operation Smile, a nonprofit medical service organization, which seems to me like they're doing a public service. But there's your quick story on, can she just please go grieve alone quietly with her 2 small children she is responsible for, and stop trying to make us feel bad. Okay? Thank you. That's all I got to say.
Stop trying to make money and just live your life, please.
I mean, this horrible, horrible thing happened to your family. Your children need you. Get off my TV set. That's what I'm saying.
Very bizarre behavior.
Whatever, man. Yeah, right?
In my European news stories that happened this year, a technocrat beats a rabble-rouser, and how African Union election borrowed from Brussels. The first full year of having a permanent EU observer reporter based in Africa, Ben Fox in Nairobi, has already paid dividends many times over. For all their sides, they see little... Just everyone in general sees little coverage of the continent. Not just us, just everyone. In political or Eurosceptive, even the EU observer does not talk about Africa that much, let alone any from the continent. Ben Fox reported from the African Union, the sort of semi-sister organization to the European Union, in a power struggle for the top job, which also reveals an internal power struggle between major states trying to prevent power being ceded away. Sound familiar? It may be the African Union, but it has the same problems as the European Union. Wait a minute, you can't tell us what to do? You decided to join a union. We can tell you what to do. You agreed to join a union. Nobody forced you to join. Well, if we didn't join, we wouldn't get all those money that you guys are spending and stuff. We wouldn't get the... Well, that's the choice you made. You get money from a collective, or you're by yourself and you get to make your own rules. That's it. That's how it works. So there's your that's news I definitely missed. The African Union being like, yo, wait, what? We have to work together?
I'll combine that story with it's like mixing oil and vinegar sometimes, which is salad dressing. And then I'll combine that with your earlier story about people throwing food, which is kind of like making a salad. Literally tossing a salad, right?
For sure.
Anyway, my last story, and this is very recent, today, maybe yesterday. If you don't know who Dan Bongino is, and if you don't, congratulations, bless you. Because he's about to be out as deputy director of the FBI because he's quitting now that the Epstein files are coming out, he's probably taking a peek at them, and he wants to go into deep hiding before somebody finds him or something.
Everyone knows that I know because I saw it unredacted.
Right, like I'm saying, this guy, if you don't know who he is, I'll just inform you who he is. He's Mr. Epstein Files. Last year at this time, Mr. Dan Bongino was going to get to the bottom of the Epstein Files, and now he's gotten to the bottom of them. He's quitting and getting the hell out of Dodge because he wants no part of this shit. I assume this is what's happening, and he doesn't have nefarious reasons. All right, I take him on faith, right? And to me, the words that he said before he was in office still apply today. And this is why he's quitting. If this isn't why he's quitting, then, well, that's another disappointment. Line up in the rest of the disappointments. They're out there. FBI Deputy Director, Dan Bongino said Wednesday he plans to step down the Bureau in January. In a statement posted on the social media, Bongino thanks Stinky the Clown and Sham Blondie and Director Cash and Carrie Patel for the opportunity to serve with purpose. Yeah, all right. He thanked
the opportunity to read all your deep secrets.
He kissed every ass on the way out. That's the way you do it. You kiss all the important asses, and those are the asses you need to kiss. Now go find your vacation home and wherever. Some island to be named later. Bongino was an unusual pick for the number 2 post of the FBI, to say the least. A critical job overseeing a Bureau's day-to-day affairs traditionally and held by a career agent. Neither Bongino nor his boss Patel had any previous experience at the FBI. I think they once were hall monitors, each one. Like in grade school, they got to tell on their freaking classmates for running and shit. Bongino did have various he did have previous law enforcement experience. That's right. He was a Secret Service agent, as we know. That's right. He was extensively mentioned in the old January 6 hearings. Bongino's the guy who was trying to talk. He's one of the guys that was trying to talk Donald Trump not to going to the Capitol, right? Like, yeah, you don't want to do that. They're trying to kill Mike Pence. He might get some, fragments or whatever. I don't know. He talked Trump out of it. I think he actually tackles. There's so many conflicting stories, but yeah. Anyway, Bongino, who was a Secret Service agent, which, having worked with Secret Service agents, that might impress you, but guess what? It don't impress me at all. I know these guys. Bongino made his name over the past decade as a pro-Trump far-right podcaster who pushed conspiracy theories, including some involving the FBI. That sounds like a Secret Service agent. And he had been critical of the Bureau. That also sounds like a Secret Service agent. Embracing the narrative that had been weaponized against conservatives and even calling its agent thugs. Right. He is now the deputy director of all the thugs that hate his guts. There you go, Dan. His tenure, I'm reading this whole story because it's hilarious to me. His tenure at the Bureau was at times tumultuous, including a clash with Justice Department leadership over the administrator's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. It also involved the arrest earlier this month of a man authorities say is responsible for the pipe bombs. Stinky the Clown praised them, but you don't care what he says. Let's have a metaphor, and I hope it includes ships and rats. Because that's where I am with this.
Well, I had a metaphor, but I lost it because
okay.
I had one before for something you mentioned.
You're welcome to use the one I just threw out there casually.
No, it's just like
the one everybody's using.
Truly, this is a metaphor. Oh, that's what it was. That's what I want to say. This is exactly like when somebody gives you one of those glitter bombs, drops it on your doorstep, and then dips. Yeah. Here's the Epstein file. Right. Bye.
Right.
I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's like, yeah. Well,
so my mixed metaphor, this dropping the glitter bomb on the doorstep and heading out on a vacation. A permanent vacation.
Imagine being an FBI agent. And these two clowns get in charge of you one day, and you're like, yeah. Huh?
Yeah, hopefully he's just going to be swimming with the fishes, not sleeping with them.
No, man,
just mixed metaphor.
Yeah, just swimming with the fishes in his island paradise as he's trying to be the latest strange
But I mean,
disappearance.
everything that's happening in the U.S. government reminds me of a movie where you have this person who's very ambitious, right? And they want to get up and be on top. And then they realize everyone who's up top got there probably illegally or through some sort of corrupted thing. They're all knowing each other's secrets. There's backstabbing, there's blackmailing, and they're like, oh shit, I don't want to be up here. Wait a minute. I don't want to be here at all. I'm leaving before I get killed.
You're describing every relationship Jeffrey Epstein had with everybody. Actually,
Probably,
right?
yeah.
He was probably a spy. I'm pretty certain he was a spy.
Spying for who, though? Putin?
Israel.
Oh, Israel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he knows shit, right? He knows shit. That's why he had to die. And
blackmail, man.
whether he did it or not.
Everyone always worries that they're going to get blackmailed,
not,
but they don't ever think about how dangerous it is to have the blackmail.
Yeah, it's one thing to be a pedophile, but if you're a spy, the government's got to protect their sources, and they can't expose you. That's a double-edged sword. It's just terrible, right? It's like, I really know this guy is a piece of shit, but you know what? He gives us good intel, right? That's what you guys are. They're in an impossible situation. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. So again, he's dead now, so it doesn't matter. Let's hear it all. Right? You don't have to give up sources. You don't have to give up sources. Black them out. You're blacking out the victims. Unless it's Netanyahu. I don't know about that motherfucker.
Yeah,
and Putin.
That's the thing. He's still alive.
Yeah. He knows the metaphor, bodies are buried. Man, he probably knew her whole stinking, organizations are buried or whatever. Stadium's full. Let's do the next spin for your story, because that's the end of the list.
Let's roll my segue, or your segue, for my culture news.
Oh crap, I gotta think. Damn it.
This is...
Alright.
Oh, we rolled another joke. Let's roll another segue wheel, because we've already done a joke today. Twice, even.
Maybe you don't want to hear my jokes anymore. Okay, fine.
I just want something different. Give me a haiku.
Alright. Oh no, a joke might have been easier. I might have had one already in reserve. Okay, go ahead.
This is about French electronic music. It's been added to France's cultural heritage list. So it's now up there with croissants, even though croissants are technically from Austria, I believe. Or is that... croissants are not from France, but they are now French food. Electronic music is probably not from France, but it's now part of French culture. This is from David Morquand. Electronic music enters France's intangible cultural heritage list, representing a first step towards the integration of French touch into UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage. Justice at last. Following Berlin techno being added to the German list of intangible heritage in 2023, electronic music has finally made it onto the French intangible cultural heritage list. This represents the first steps towards a UNESCO heritage status. The list of intangible cultural heritage allows signatory states of the UNESCO Convention to register practices, representations, expressions, knowledge, and skills that the communities recognize as part of their cultural heritage. Everything from music and craftsmanship to culinary skills, traditional games, and sports. Electronic music has a rightful place in our national intangible heritage, said French Cultural Minister Rachida Dati yesterday on the 17th of December, confirming this first step. Recently, the ministry created labels for clubs as places of artistic expression and celebration. Earlier this year, French President Emmanuel Macron called for French electronic music, also referred to as French touch, to be granted UNESCO cultural heritage status. I love Germany. You know how pro-European I am, said Macron. But we don't have to take lessons from anyone. We are the inventors of electro. We have the French touch. Ooh la la. Most defined by its geographical situation as opposed to adherence to a specific sound, French touch was spearheaded by the likes of Daft Punk, Etienne de Crécy, Bob Sinclair, Air, Cassius, and many more, and has spanned various genres from house, dance, electro, old school disco to jazz, and plenty of glorious sampling. From Tommy Vauducrain, president of Technopool, the Association for the Defense and Promotion. Why do we have to defend electronic music? Anyways, for the defense and promotion of electronic music, an organizer of the Paris Techno Parade since '98, this listing is an achievement and a historical milestone. The first tears I shed for electronic music were under tear gas when it was demonized. The little tear I shed today is the joy of seeing our music finally listed as cultural heritage, Vauducrain told AFP. Among the 14 new items of French intangible heritage are Parisian haute couture, the agricultural fairs of Doux, the débat of the women of Mayotte, a form of song and dance, the Chageme Rispondi, poetic jousting in Corsica, and Demoscene, a popular digital creation movement. Along with this story, I have a small list of 10 tracks that you should listen to if you don't know what French touch is. The first one is Bob Sinclair's Gym Tonic featuring Jane Fonda. Phoenix, If I Ever Feel Better, from 2000. Demon vs. Heartbreaker, Are You My High, 2000. Mr. Oizo, Flat Beat in 1999. Mojo, Lady, Hear Me Tonight from 2000. Saint Germain, Rose Rouge, 2000. Justice with DANCE or Dance from 2007. Stardust, Music Sounds Better With You, 1998. Cassius 1999 from 1999. And of course, everyone's famous French touch music, Daft Punk, One More Time. We're gonna celebrate French touch.
Let's
all
go.
right, start the dancing.
Yeah,
So
we need some background music for this.
we have
any.
background music every time. We have background music.
Yeah, we got the horn blare. Oh, we also have this background music, the trombone.
A trombone. That's that trombone.
There's our music. Sorry, that didn't get her. That
There's
don't
my
get
story,
people
my
dancing.
culture news.
Nothing gets you dancing like a sad trombone. Hey, let's go. That's my song. All right. This is a concert. This is a conversation I'm having at a concert with my friend Art. Music is high art. Hi, Roger. Music is what? No, it wasn't a question or a statement. Anyway, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't a greeting. That's what I meant. Sorry.
It wasn't a greeting.
No, it wasn't a greeting. See, I'm not even reading my own. It goes like this.
Is that your haiku,
like
but
this.
also in joke form? Is that what?
Yeah, music is high art. Hi, Roger. Music is what? No, it wasn't a greeting. There you go. There's my haiku.
And that's why you're not a professional comedian. Not yet, anyways. Amateur comedian.
No, sorry. No, wasn't a greeting. Should have been it because I did it wrong. Anyway, I wait too long sometimes. Right.
Let's go to our next segue, our final segue for today's show. And
oh my goodness!
Your
Thank
day
you.
in history, or this day in history, not just yours. It's our day.
The
day on this day in history.
This day in the history of history.
Give you a non sequitur.
Righto. Okay, so this day in history, we're going to talk about December 18th in the year 1737. Famed Italian violin maker Antonio Stradivari died in Cremona. Stradivarius violins are the ones that everybody covets. So there hasn't been one made in over, almost 300 years. Rumored that there was one in my family, but I don't think it was a Stradivarius. It was just an old violin from Germany. I mean, I'm sure it was valuable, but I never got it. I was supposed to get it. Somebody told me I was supposed to get it. My aunt had it. 1787, New Jersey became the third state admitted to the United States when it ratified the U.S. Constitution. And they got rid of their old Jersey. 1865, the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution officially entered into force, abolishing slavery in the United States. We had a whole war over it. 1886, baseball player Ty Cobb was born in Narrows, Georgia. He's one of them really awful people that nobody could stand, actually. So his reputation is more than, I think his reputation outweighs his stats on baseball. I think a lot of people are just afraid of him. Ty Cobb okay, this is a rumor I heard. He was once fighting a fan in the stands during a game. This is way back in the turn of the century, early 1900s. Fighting his fan in the stand who had no arms. The fan had no arms, and Ty Cobb was beating the hell out of him and said, "Hey, he doesn't have any arms." And Ty Cobb said, "Hey, I don't care if he doesn't have any legs," and just kept wailing on him. Yeah, Ty Cobb, kind of an idiot. 1892, Pyotr Tchaikovsky's ballet. Tchaikovsky, the Nutcracker, was first presented at the Mariinsky Theater in St. Petersburg. Yeah. Tchaikovsky, yeah, the dance of the sugar plum fairies.
Right in time for Christmas.
That's one of the classical. Yeah, right. Yeah, if you like nutcrackers, that's your sweet spot. There's your pun. 1913. Goodness. I know, right? Willy Brandt, leader of the Social Democratic Party of Germany from 64 to 87, was born. Happy birthday to him. He was a chancellor of West Germany for 5 years and won the Nobel Prize in 71 for peace. 1917, General Erich Ludendorff, ordering the consolidation of Germany's leading motion picture studios to form UFA, or Universal Film. I can't pronounce that big, long German word, which made numerous important films during the silent era. 1943, happy birthday to Keith Richards. Keith Richards, long live Keith Richards, turning 82 today. He was born this day in Dartford, Kent, England.
Universum Film Aktiengesellschaft. Is that the word you couldn't say?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, that's it. Exactly. You stole the words right out of my mouth. 1946, director Steven Spielberg was born in Cincinnati. Shares birthday with Keith Richards, which is cool. You know who Steven Spielberg is? E.T., Private Ryan, Schindler's List. 1963, whose birthday is today? It's Brad Pitt. My lookalike, Brad Pitt, known for his portrayal of unconventional characters, was born in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Yeah, that's right. He was born on a reservation. In 1966, the animated TV adaptation of Dr. Seuss' How the Grinch Stole Christmas aired for the first time. It quickly became a holiday staple. Boy, holiday staples are hard to find, man. 1997, Kim Da-jung was elected president of South Korea, the first opposition leader in the country's history to win that position. Opposition leader to what? Don't tell me what their opposition is to. Well, I'm opposed to it. By golly, you got something, I'm against it. 2011, Václav Havel, one of your first post-Cold War leaders. He was died in this day. He was the president of Czechoslovakia from 89 to 92 and of the Czech Republic from 93 to 2003 and had been a prominent participant in liberal reforms. Also a actor. I'm pretty sure he was an actor. 2019, Donald Trump. We know who he is. Became the third U.S. president to be impeached by the House of Representatives. Time for another one, because this guy has got a lot of crap on the table that everybody's kind of just turning away from him. And we didn't even cover some of the stories like, he wanted Indiana to do a redistricting, another gerrymander for him. Indiana met on it, and Republicans voted it down. They said, "Fuck you, Trump." So yeah, he's losing his power day by day, losing his clout. It's going away. Hey man, write that down. It rhymes. All right. 1912 in this day, the missing link that wasn't. Oh, I remember this one. We did this before.
The
British
missing
Museum
link.
paleontologist. Yeah, that's Thank you. Well, that was my college nickname. A British Museum paleontologist announced on his field day in 1912 that an amateur geologist had discovered the fossil remains of an extinct human species in England. The remains, known as Piltdown Man, were presented as a missing evolutionary link between apes and early human beings, but by 1950s they had been exposed as a fraud. There's not necessarily any way to find a missing link. I think that's a misnomer anyway. Our feature biography is Billie Eilish, American singer and songwriter. Born December 18th, 2001. She's turning 24 today. She was born post 9/11, but just barely in Los Angeles. Other birthdays today. Joseph Stalin's birthday today.
Boo!
1878. Oh, you're going to the gulag for that. Not 1879.
I'll be proud to go to the gulag.
Oh, watch it. Paul Klee, Swiss-German artist, in 1879 is his birthday. We did Spielberg, we did Brad Pitt. It's also Christina Aguilera, American pop singer. She was born in 1980. Christina Aguilera, 45 today. Holy smithereens. Where did my life go?
I think she's still looking good. She's
Haven't
one of
seen
those
her
people
lately.
who has the fountain of youth.
She's the same birthday as Billie Eilish. 21 years
Reborn.
earlier.
Wait, she can't be reborn. She didn't die.
And Brad Pitt. And most importantly of all, Keith Richards. So, and National Day calendar's only a couple of things. It's National Regifting Day. It's National Roast Suckling Pig Day, which seems kind of cruel because we're talking about killing a little baby pig, basically.
Yeah, and it takes a long time.
You can't wait for your damn pork chops to grow up. Come on, folks. And also, it is National Twin Day, so it's only those three. Oh, no, one more thing. It's Answer the Telephone Like Buddy the Elf Day. And a shout off to some movie studio who wants to get more money out of your wallet. That, you know, the people that made the Buddy the Elf film, they're just trying to cash in a little bit more and make you think of that movie so you go and watch it some more. Maybe go rent it on DVD or something. Who fucking knows? Buddy the Elf was a reach and inventing, so I don't know why it's already a national day, but hey, there we go. The Will Ferrell movie. It's also National Twin Day. So those are your long list, your long interruptions by me, and everything else rude for today, December 18th, 2025, on Before Hopefully Fully Adult Pig that you're eating.
Sounds good. Okay, for my non sequitur.
Hold on a second.
Any plans for Christmas? Are you gonna make some more hens?
I know, I'm just gonna sleep late. I don't know. Not really.
Just gonna sleep.
Oh man.
Just gonna sleep.
I'm one of them kids. Yeah, I'm one of them kids that was not captured by a lot of holidays, except maybe Thanksgiving because it happened during the earning season.
Yeah, it's just things were happening, right? If things weren't happening, who cares?
My mom didn't believe in Christmas, and my dad sure as hell wanted to buy those damn presents and shit. But yeah, my sisters used to buy me presents. That's the last time I got a present from one of my sisters is the last time I really was, and that was a long time ago, right? Once you get you're not cute anymore, they stop buying you stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I
was never cute. I was barely cute. I was cute for like 7 minutes, you know? Anyway.
No, I honestly only like holidays because you get to sit down and have a really special meal, you know? Cook food. You know, it's not just the normal quick, cook this, whatever, eat it, blah, blah, blah. You get to sit down, you know, eat at a table.
Yeah, we had big meals. She wasn't anti-Christmas.
You can open a present. I got some presents this year for my housemates, and you know,
if we wanted
some
a
useful
tree,
stuff because we're all adults now, right? It's like, here, socks are actually a good gift, you know.
So, do you want anything, or is that what you're getting at? You want something?
Nope, I don't. I don't want anything. That's my problem. I never want anything.
I'll go find What's the Netherlands? What's the Netherlands version of Amazon? I'll order you a documentary.
Well, here in the Netherlands, they have the
40
3 days of Christmas, right? You got Christmas Eve, Christmas, and then Boxing Day.
Okay, I'll repeat my joke so you hear it this time. I said, is there a Netherlands version of Amazon so I can buy you a $40 million documentary?
There is, yes.
Apparently, that's what they cost. That's what they cost. Documentaries cost $40 million. Basically,
You're still
human
talking
interest
about this,
story.
okay.
I'm just saying.
Doing an
It's obvious
sequitur, 'cause that
bribery.
was my segue.
Let's do whatever the hell's next then.
But yes, let me see. There is actually an international observance today. I saw it earlier. I swear it's there. There it is.
Wednesday.
It's
National
International
Wednesday.
Migrants Day, which those are the people who are making sure economy is still running because, nobody in my entire town wants to work on the Brussels sprouts farm. I guess we're going to have to import some work from somewhere so that we can still sell that Brussels sprouts and the entire town doesn't die. So let's celebrate
forget the worst
people
one.
who
The
go
worst
out of
one
their
is
way
elder
to
care.
contribute to society that
Elder
they
care.
weren't even born in. They go somewhere looking for work because they know they can make more money there because they're not getting paid well where they live. The society they live in probably doesn't respect them or treats them badly, so they go somewhere else. Migrants always boost economic growth and provide a lifeline to families and communities, driving development. That's right. If I'm able to send money back to my underdeveloped country, I might be able to change society over there too. Wow, that's crazy. Spreading the love, spreading the money, improving society.
Trying to
It's
help
also the
people
UN
survive.
observance for Arabic Language Day. So celebrate
That's a lot
not
of
being
stuff.
able to read that because I don't know Arabic. The whole thing's in Arabic on purpose because they want you to celebrate it. So they put the thing in Arabic. It's a pillar of cultural diversity. More than 400 million people speak Arabic. So on World Arabic Day, learn your favorite Arabic phrase and understand that people speak different languages, but that doesn't mean they're not human beings. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the US as we finish up a Thursday 13. We'll see you tomorrow for the Friday news dump so you can know all the news that's happening on this almost Christmas weekend, I guess. Whatever. Leading up to Christmas. So you can have a nice festive time and go see your family and not worry about what the hell's going on in the news over the weekend. Don't forget to follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube. Turn on that notification so that you know when we go live or post a video. We need those subscribers so that people know that the algorithm, the AI algorithm on YouTube knows that people like watching our show. So please subscribe if you have the time. It's free. It's a simple click. Press that red button. And here is our mic drop moment.
Well, we were in cleaning our birds and we heard this big bang. We said,
Really
no,
impressive
another
to do
car
this.
accident. So we drop everything and we went running out the front. We seen Mum running out from the house up there. And
But you can tell one of them is the lead speaker and the other one is the following speaker.
to see if the person
They
was
switch.
okay. And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he
They say the exact same words. It's weird.
They're trying really hard to sync up.
Run! He's got a gun.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.